And the recording apparently always starts with the screen of our meeting name and my name at the bottom. So it looks kind of weird if I straight away recording of me talking because it doesn't have my face in it. Right. So it started exactly at 3 as usual. Thank you guys for dropping by. Again, this is an online only class. That's how it was designed. So I know it has flaws and pros and cons. The pros, of course, you can attend this class while lying on your bed, which is nice. Especially in today's weather where it's raining outside. I think I can hear raining outside. But of course, this kind of class do not have that human touch. Of course, I'm not touching you, but what I'm saying is you can't see my response in real time, and I can't see your response in real time, and that kind of limits the kind of interaction that you can have between myself and you guys. Transcription is quite good. Although my English might not be perfect, but it seems that Teams can exactly transcribe what I said. Fantastic technology, don't you think? All right, it's 3 p.m. Okay. Assalamualaikum, very good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon, Tajahal. Welcome to our class on week 6, I believe. Yeah, week 6. Time flies when you're having fun, they say. So I hope you guys are having fun in your semester, whatever course you are doing. And by now, I believe some of you or all of you are going through your midterm tests, assignments, and so on. Even our subject also have uh, an assignment which was due last Sunday, and I've marked it. And for your information, it's quite rare that I marked your assignment straight away. But since I promised myself that for this semester I'm going to be diligent, so I marked it straight away. So you should be proud, because you are in a semester where Dr. Adib is very diligent. Normally, I wait until the end of the semester to mark all of your assignments, yeah. But for this semester, I promised myself to do it on time. So for the next one, which is due on week 8, Okay, let me share my screen as usual. Oops, I was looking at ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT is quite uh, useful when you want to talk about ideas, ideas. Not just about writing your assignments, but ideas. Okay, let me turn off all my windows. Right. Uh, some of you, I think 2 or 3 of you personally contacted me saying that they missed the deadline because they didn't notice that the deadline was in week 5. They thought it was in week 14. Okay. Perhaps partly because I didn't stress this enough. I don't know. But let me tell you again that for this course, we will have 4 kinds of assessment. We have one that is weekly. Bi-weekly meaning that I don't expect you to submit weekly, but I will give the questions weekly. Not questions, more like a task, more like homework, something that you need to do. Maybe for you to write something and then you comment, and you do something and then you submit, something like that. Something simple so that it complements what I said in class. Now, that is what I call weekly activities. That in itself is due week 14. Okay? Every week there will be question, task for you to do. You can do it every week or you can wait until week 14, up to you. But the deadline is week 14. But that's only 20%. Okay? The other 80% comes from 20% individual assignment 1, 20% comes from individual assignment 2, and the remaining 40% comes from a group assignment, which is due in week 14. All right. The next one is the individual assignment is due in week 8. You might ask, when is that week 8, doctor? Okay. Sunday on 8th December 2024. Now, 8th December might not be too far away. I calculate this based on the what I cannot remember. Uh, on 8th of December is week 8, should be. All right. So again, I would like to show you where you should look for the assignment. Tap on the, okay, let me click that again. Click or tap on the add submission, and there you will find the question, okay, or the instruction. Okay, for now, I will not change the deadline because I think you still have time, and for this one, it's not a serious video. It can be about you talking to yourself, or it can be about you talking to your roommate or your best friend, and I don't think that's difficult. So I think I will stick to week 8. Okay, 1 minute video, and upload it somewhere, and just share the link below. Okay, that's for assignment. Why I'm stressing this is because I don't want to hear anyone saying that, oh, I missed the deadline. Oh, sorry, I missed the deadline. Well, you can miss the deadline and you can submit later, but I'm afraid I cannot mark you like the rest of your friends because it's not fair if the rest of the class submit on time but you didn't just because you missed the deadline. Okay, I can still mark it, but at a different weightage. Okay, uh, I put in a small weightage for you, for those of you who submitted late. And that's why if you notice the grades for our first assignment, you will notice that a lot of you got A plus, A minus. Some of you got B plus or B, and still some of you get a C. For those who got C, meaning that you submitted late. For the rest of you, normally you got A on average. Yeah. Right, so that's one, deadline. Always be aware of the deadline. So I'm reminding you in this class, the next deadline will be on week 8, 8 December. Senang. Week 8, 8 December. Okay? Right. So what, again, I'm going through a bit of your assignment lah, because this is the first time, and maybe it will be better if a lot of you be clear with what I look for, what my expectation and so on. Okay, so that you can be on the lookout for the next assignment. Next is I want you to closely follow the question. Okay, for first assignment, okay, let's have a look at the question. Okay, what I asked for is to take photos up to maximum of 10, arrange the photos creatively, and you may use up to 4 pages. This is the instruction. If you give me 8 pages, I cannot mark you the same as your friends because you don't follow the instruction. Okay, so I think one of you, I can't remember who, and I will not, even if I remember, I will not say the name. One of you submitted 8 pages. The photos still 10, but the pages are 8. So I cannot give you the same mark, okay? Even though the photos are nice, the photos follows the composition rules and whatnot, but you didn't follow the instruction, okay? So uh, if that's the case, I'm afraid I have to mark you lower, all right? Uh, Another instruction is for you to write an engaging caption or story. Okay, for those who like to write a short story, you can write a short story. Fit it within the design of your PDF. Yeah, but I don't mind you just writing a caption. Okay, just a short sentences, perhaps to describe uh, what's the flow of the story about. It's okay. Eh? And some of you exactly copied my style, which is writing a short poem using ChatGPT. It is also fine because you know why? Because for me, I'm looking for stories. And in my mind, my expectation, stories are arranged in structure. Okay? Yes, the poem might be generated by ChatGPT, but the prompt comes from you and the structure comes from you. And I still consider that your work. Okay? I think one of you submitted without text, just a title and photos. So you see, it's quite difficult for me to guess what's the story about if you only give me one title and just photos. Okay, if I can guess what the story is about, then fine. But this for your assignment, for that student assignment, I cannot guess what it is from the title and the photo. So I'm afraid I have to mark you down. All right. So again, I would like to remind you, please follow the instruction. And last but not least, you must save it as PDF. You might have done it in your PowerPoint, Canva, or Word, or Google Docs, or whatever. But always save as PDF, and then you upload that. And if you look closely at the submission panel, I don't know whether it's here or not. It's specified here, just a PDF document. And I think there's a limit. Wait, let me try. Let me try if I can get big file. Is there a big file in my... Because there's a limit of 20 megabyte, I think. Is there a big file? No. Oh, this one. Yeah, let's try that. That's an exe file. Anyway, no, no. So it's jam already. All right. So make sure your file is within the... Oh yeah, there it is. Maximum file size 20 megabyte. This is also part of your learning process. Okay, if you find out that your file is more than 20 megabyte, then by all means reduce it to less than 20 megabyte. Okay, I think one of you contacted me asking me how to make the file size smaller. She said she tried compressing it. You see, compressing a file will make the file into another format. Yeah, either .zip or .raw or whatever format that you have while compressing the file. It might get smaller, but you see the instruction is to upload a PDF. Okay, so go ahead and learn how to reduce the file size for PDF file. Okay, most probably by reducing your photo size. Eh? That's a learning process for you, you see. So that's why this course, you will notice that there are lots of things that I don't tell you, that I don't teach you. Because you see, this, what I call digital skills, are part of your learning environment now. So by now, I hope you understand how to make your file smaller, either by compression or by making your photos smaller, and how to do that. You can explore many ways. Yeah. Look up tutorials, look up YouTube tutorials, look up Canva tutorials. Yeah, Canva nowadays is getting closer to become the default image editor of the internet. Everyone uses Canva, so you might as well learn Canva for your career later on. All right. Yeah. Okay. Before I forget, I would like also to share my rubric. Rubric means how I mark uh, your assignment. Yeah. Let's go back to that slide later. How I mark your assignment is Where is it? Okay, what I look for. Okay, I think I remember showing you this slide. Yeah, it's a 20 marks assignment, and for the just as a heads up, your second individual assignment also has a 20 mark. So I will use the same, well, similar. Okay. For photography, for the photos, as long as the photos have some composition techniques, I give it an 8. Actually, for this one, I'm a bit lenient. I noticed that some of you didn't compose some of the photos, but as long as some of the photos has got composition techniques, I give it a 10. Give it an 8. Yeah. So a lot of you actually got 18, but I didn't put up the marks. I just give you the grade. I'm just sharing with you that a lot of you actually got 18. Why 18? Because 8 for photos, and for storytelling, as long as I can see some story, I give you a 10, right? So a lot of you actually got 18. 18 over 20 is like 9 over 10. That's A plus already. And that's why a lot of you got A plus. Because as long as you give story and your photos have some composition, you got 18. All right. So you might ask, okay, who do I give 9 and 10 for photos, doctor? Okay. For 9, I give it to those who put in an effort to have some graphic design element. All right. Not just photo, but you arrange it nicely with principles of graphic design. I know some of you have experience in graphic design, and that's why you use that. So your PDF a bit nicer. Yeah. But for those who are not do not have that background but put in an effort nicely, also I give you a 9. Okay. And for 10, okay, you might ask, okay, in that case, who got a 10 then? Because you said those who follow composition 8, some graphic design 9. So who got 10? Okay. Unlike other lecturers, in my class, I give perfect marks. Okay. I give up perfect marks if I think the student deserves it. All right. So in this class, for the photos, a 10 is given to those who put in more effort or the most effort. Okay. And the most effort in this class, I saw, I think, from 2 or 3 of you who actually don't just take photo but actually act out, acting. I think one of you take his friend or her friend to become the actor in front of the camera, and that person, with that person in the photo, it tells the story better. All right. And because of that, I give that student a 10. All right. So I think that student got 20. One or two got 20. I cannot remember. Yeah. But you see, 18 and 20 also A plus. Okay. So don't get too hung up on, oh, I think I deserve a 20. Oh, I think I want to try for 20 next time. So don't be too hung up on this. The grade is still the same. The credit hours are still the same. So I'm sharing you with this is because to show that how I mark your assignment, right? And one, I don't mind giving full marks. And what I look for in giving full marks is your effort. Okay. If you understand well and you follow the instruction, normally I give you an A. Okay. And that's my principle. You follow instruction, including the deadline, including the question, I give you 8. 8. 8 over 10. Normally 8 over 10 is 8. And if you show more commitment, more effort, I give you full mark. Okay. That's it. And if you submit late, then the most you can get is a C. All right. And if you don't follow instruction, but slightly follow, then slightly above than C. Okay. You can only get a C if you submitted late. All right. So remember that. So for the next assignment, just as a heads up, I will only change this to videography. Okay. If you are using non-videography composition, then the most you can get is 4. And if you use some, then the most you can get is 7. And if you use the composition technique in your video, I will give you an 8. Okay. Some graphic design again, I give you a 9. Some effort in maybe creating a script, special script for your actors to say, then I give you a 10. All right. So a simple video, maybe recording a rain like what we're having now, and 8. No worries. Okay. So what we are going through today is the preparation of doing a video, eh? which is which is the first step in doing a video. Okay, I like this photo because that is the kind of video setup that you need if you want to do a proper video. Okay, this I don't know how much is this, maybe in the tens of thousands of ringgit. You notice that the videographer has some shade on it because he wants a good lighting for it. Yeah. I think this is shot in the city. I don't know whether it's in Malaysia or not, but this is exactly what you need if you want to have a industrial quality movie. This guy most probably is the director because he's looking at his screen. Yeah, either he's the director or he's the what you call the video editor or something. I cannot remember the name, the term. Because he's the one who's looking at the screen, looking at the composition and whether it follows the storyboard that they all agreed upon. Okay, today what I want to share with you is a new term. Okay, before that, asyik lupa je. Okay, for this part of the subject, for the course, for the video part, uh, I will be covering three things. Okay, before taking video, during taking the video, and after shooting the video. Okay, these are not theoretical knowledge. This is more of a uh, sharing session of my experience managing a video project. Okay, and I picked up what's the important stuff for you to become a good student journalist using video. You might feel that being called a journalist is like a big job out there. You see, as long as you are someone who are interested in a topic, you collect information, and then from that collection of information, you produce something to share what you understand to others, then you're a journalist. That's a journalist in my definition. All right. And with that definition, actually, if you think about it, it's just like what you did in your assignment, isn't it? Your lecturer gives you a topic for an essay. You research the topic for your essay, all the information from internet, from the books, from the journal, from interviewing people, and you compile all that, and then you just pick and choose, arrange the information to effectively address the essay question, and then you present it by submitting. Yeah, that makes you a journalist. The skills that you have is exactly the skills of a journalist. And all these things that you are exploring, storytelling, photography, videography, interview, these are all the basic skills that you need to become a journalist. The same skill, but level of course different lah. You are at the very low level, but the skills are the same. So you will all become a journalist if you choose to be, and these are all the skills that you need to have. So in shooting a video, there are three main phases: before, during, and after. And what you do during the before, during, and after are specific things. The before part is where you plan for the shoot. The during is when you shoot the video. The after is when you're making sure the content follows what the message that you want to convey. Yeah. So before you start shooting, the most important part of the management side is what I call the storyboard, creating a storyboard. So that is what we will cover today. This will be covered next week, I think, and this one will be covered week after that. But please be reminded that at this stage, I will not be teaching you how to use a software. You see? So if you remember what I said before today, just now, this class is not about teaching a software. That can be done on YouTube outside of this class. In this class, it's more about me playing the role of a coach, of a mentor. So I leave it to you to learn any software, any apps, even those on your phones, like CapCut, VN, or whatever. Even TikTok has a decent video editor on it. You can use that. Yeah. IG, Instagram also have a very simple video editing features. Use that, no issue. But what I will do in class is more with the 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 guidance as a guidance on what to edit, what to put in, what kind of element you must have, and so on. Okay, maybe I will share with you some resources on where to get that sound, where to get that background music, yeah, B rolls, A rolls, things like that. Okay, so again, with the storyboard, what I will share with you is I will share with you some definition. What's the element of a good storyboard? And I will share with you what I have done, and I will share with you what previous students have done. Okay, and what I consider acceptable storyboard. Because you might have different expectation and so on. So I will today is more of a of 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 a chance for me to match our expectations. All right. Yes. Okay. Uh, this slide is available on Spectrum, I think. If not, then you can ask in the WhatsApp group, and I will give it to you. Yeah, it's on my Canva. It's not secret. Right. So coming back to this one, my staff just came in to get something. Uh, what is a storyboard? Basically, storyboard is just a visual representation. Representation meaning the shots that you see on the video lah. So imagine, so okay, in the beginning, of course, we have to imagine, okay? Imagine that you are a movie director or film director. Uh, you see something, you want perhaps the hero to walk from here to there, for example, walking away, walking towards camera, all those kind of scenes. So what storyboard does is that it gives you screenshots of that, yeah, so that it becomes a series of illustrations or images. Now, why do you have to do this? Because you see, when doing a movie, doing a video, it's not you alone. You see, you might be the director, you might be the producer. You have certain vision about the movie. For example, you want to do the new Spider-Man movie, for example. People say the next Spider-Man movie again have all the three Spider-Mans in it, and they are fighting each other. I don't know. Eh? That idea in the eyes or in the head of your director might be different than the one for the, I don't know, maybe for the costume artist, for the actors, actress. So in order for everyone to understand, to agree on the kind of movie that we are going to make, we need to have storyboards. And this is the importance of storyboards, so that everyone understood the same thing. Everyone understood that, oh, we need to shoot this first, shoot this, and then this, or maybe we shoot that together because that looks the same. That shot has the same actors in it. So the managers might suggest that let's shoot this and this and this together, for example. And that's why storyboards are very, very important. Okay. Now, let's have a look at examples that are easier. So I give you some examples from online that I met, that I managed to get. So as you can see, storyboards can be just cartoons, and those cartoons doesn't have to be perfect. I know some of you can draw. I've seen students who can draw well. I cannot. I cannot. I can draw something like this, no problem. But if you ask me to write, to draw nice drawings, I'm afraid I cannot. Yeah. So even if you cannot draw, it's still fine. As long as you can show that the story well. Uh, where it started, who are the character, who are the second character, and the shot, whether it's a close-up shot, whether it's a medium shot, zoom in, zoom out, and so on. So if you can read this story, it's about, it hasn't ended, but you can have a look. One ordinary Thursday, okay. My brother, Jeremy, was not being annoying. Jeremy, you being weird. Just you see my super amazing sister. What are you hiding? Nothing. Come clean, maggot. Okay, I ate all of your chocolate. Right? Actually, the story hasn't ended, but for me, I think it's enough of a story. Yeah. There's an established shot where this is the setup. Yeah. The house, brothers and sisters. Suddenly, if you remember our storytelling class, a classic storytelling structure always have tiba-tiba, suddenly, my brother Jeremy was not being annoying. Suddenly. So there comes the conflict. This is the conflict. Jeremy, you're weird. Da, 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 da. Nothing. La, la, la. These are all the conflict. And at the final scene, Jeremy admitted, okay. I ate all of your chocolate. That's the resolution. Okay. So this is a short story of exchange or fight or not yet fight between brothers and sisters. All right. I mentioned to you why we need this because with storyboards, it helps to plan for everyone and also for the use of communication so that everyone understood what needs to be done. Okay. Okay. Let's look at another example. This one uses a proper illustrator. Okay, so some production, like big production like the Marvels, Hollywood blockbusters, all those companies have proper illustrator to draw your storyboards. And you might want to ask why drawing? Why cannot they do a computer or maybe they do some animation, graphic design? Well, you see, this industry has been around since I don't know 1910s, I think 1920s, 100 years ago. In those days, drawing is all they have. Eh? And in fact, drawing, sketching is good because you can easily wipe it off and then draw something else on top of it. Imagine in the old days people use pencils, right? So they can just erase it and draw a new one on top. So it's more of a tradition kind of thing. It's not about whether or not they should or can do it. You know what I mean? It's more of a tradition kind of thing. So storyboards normally are sketches. Although nowadays with AI, people start using graphics designs and AI to do their storyboards. That is coming. That is coming. But most people, especially big production, still uses sketches. Sketches. Right. So this is storyboard hospital. Coming in, coming out, blah blah blah. Story for this one, the story is not completed. But as you can see, what I want to show you is that there are arrows as well. And these arrows actually indicate the movement of the camera and also movement of the hero or the subject. And it goes here, goes there, and the transition, that kind of thing. Right? So what do you need to have in a storyboard? First things first, you need to have sequencing. You notice that they have squares, not squares, rectangles in sequence, okay? From left to right. Sorry, you might see me showing from right to left. From left to right, okay? And at the bottom or somewhere, there will be short descriptions, okay? By description meaning what's happening in that shot. Yeah. Video and voiceover. Video means the action. VO is the voiceover, the narration, the audio of that video. Yeah. Sometimes the audio might come from the script, the actor say something that becomes the audio. But sometimes videos don't use that. They don't use actors, or maybe they do, but they don't have audio from that actors. They have narration. So you need to describe that in your storyboard. This is one example of advertisement, I think. Advertisement about an app. So as you can see, this is how I would do my storyboard. My storyboard, because I can't draw for the life of me. I can't draw. So if I were to draw things, that would be something like this: a stick figure. Yeah. So you can do that, no problem. But make sure you're at the bottom of that rectangle there is a description of the story, so that people can understand. And most importantly, your team can understand what you're doing. All right. This is about a student who graduating and want to go to holiday in Morocco. Morocco. Do you know where Morocco is? Morocco is in Africa. Eh? Morocco. Maghribi. In Malay we call it Maghrib. Maghribi. So the flight lands in Morocco, blah blah blah. So the student wants to buy something. So the graduate uses our app. As you can see, when shooting video, I hope you notice right now, the shots are varied. You change the shot. These are all medium shots, what I call medium shots. But sometimes you need to have close-up shots. So this change in shots, in composition, will make your video more interesting. Right? So don't stick to just one shot, which is your medium shot. What social media normally calls the POV shot, point of view shot. Point of view shot. You know, you take your phone, you take video at your eye level. Okay, you can, but when you edit your video, make sure there's a mix of that. Okay, don't just everything is just your POV. You do a close up, do a long shot, do a wide shot. Mix it up. So that's my first tip. I will go through it again later when we actually do the video shooting. All right. So now I would like to share with you some storyboard that I did to share with you what I meant by a story. Okay? Okay, at this point, I would like to comment on your submission for assignment 1. In that assignment, I remember asking you to take photos of UM story. Lah. You are a student of UM, so your life is also a story. Understand? But some of you just take photos of what you do. That does not necessarily make a story, you see. Quite a few of you take a photo about what you do. You wake up, you go to shower, you get ready for class, you go to class, you happy in your class, and then you go for your lunch, you happy at lunch because you eat with your friends, and then you go back to another class in the afternoon. So in the evening, you go out and play football with your friends, and then you go out for dinner, and then you go back to your room to sleep. You see, that's your life. But that's not a story. You see, what I look for is a story. I know it sounded the same, but not exactly the same. And that is the reason you are all here. For me to guide you to identify things as stories. Not everything is a story. You see, I think I remember sharing with you in the storytelling class that, for example, the Cinderella story. We don't know everything about Cinderella on that day, right? What we know is that in one night she went to the ball to see the prince and she danced with the prince. She's a poor girl and yet she came to the ball with carriages, with horses, and we know that she has to come back at 12 midnight. But she didn't because she forgot, she enjoyed herself. And that's when the clock strikes 12, she hurriedly ran towards the towards the door to go back home because she knew that at that time everything will go back to normal. Yeah. We knew all that because that's the story. You see, we don't know what color was the dress. Do you know that? Maybe, but I don't. Maybe details like where is this castle, because that's not part of the story, you see. So in telling a story, and that's why I focus on the structure. Okay, as long as you can tell it in 3 parts, you can tell it like in classic storytelling where there is a sudden change and then in the end you learn something about the resolution, something new. That becomes a story. Okay, you don't have to tell everything. You don't have to tell us what you eat for lunch. That you enjoyed your lunch. I don't care. as long as it can be made into a story. Okay, why I mentioned about the lunch? Because that lunch can become a story. Okay. So let's look at your screen now. Uh, this is a simple structure where you can use your lunchtime or as a story, as a background to your story. Okay, it's like this. Okay, the setup is you show a close up of your tummy, for example. This is your hand, by the way. I know there's only four fingers, but pardon me, my apologies. But this is actually your hands on your tummy, or rather on my tummy. So your tummy is grumbling, you're hungry, and you ask yourself what to eat lah. You heard at the back, what to eat lah. I use this because this is a very Malaysian way of asking what you want to have for your lunch. So you're hungry, you just finished your class at 1. Are you hungry lah? What to eat lah? And show your face, looking everywhere. And then at the next scene, the conflict is that on campus in UM, there are so many things to eat, so many cafes. You have Zeus, you have he and she, you got cafes in KPS, you got cafes in the faculty, in your friend's faculty also, in your college. And you heard in 12 college, they are nice looking cafes, very cheap also, where it's too far. All these dilemmas in your head. So there are shots of photos of food, name of cafes, conflict, conflict, and suddenly your best friend appeared out of nowhere. Hello, dia kata. Hello, let's go eat nasi bujang lah. So for those of you who haven't explored yet, nasi bujang is the cheapest food you can get on campus. You got rice, you got cucumber, and you got eggs, maybe some gravy. So that's the cheapest food on campus that you can find. Okay, uh, so the message is that actually you don't have. Actually, you can eat anything, even the cheapest food, as long as you have it with your best friend. See? So now, yes, it's story about you. Yes, it's story about your lunch. But I don't tell the story about, waking up, taking a shower, going to class, going home. I just focus on that lunch where there's a conflict of you not knowing what to eat. And then the resolution is, hey, after all, it's okay. You can eat anything as long as it's with your friend. Okay, now that becomes a story. You following me? So you don't have to tell everything as long as there's a message and you can arrange it in a structure, especially the three-part structure that I'm showing you right now, that becomes a story. Okay? And again, for your second assignment, I'm looking for stories. It's just that this time I want to see in video. Okay? So let's look at the next one. For this one, you don't have to have an actor. This is another type of video that I don't mind getting. Yeah. I think a lot of you, including myself, we are not comfortable acting in front of the camera, which is fine. Okay, but make sure your story has structure in it and has a message. Okay, so I have this idea of making this video called The Rain. Okay, so the setup is that it shows a shot of raining. Maybe it's shot from window, outside, inside, doesn't matter. So it rains again today. The conflict is that because it's very what you call very disappointing. Not disappointing. Disappointing is not the right word. It's a very mellow kind of environment, isn't it? When it rains, it's dark, it's cloudy. You don't have the mood because rain wets things, rain slows things, rain stops things. It's traffic jam, so cars can't move. Trees might topple over nowadays. The rain are quite heavy. The trees might topple. The traffic jams. People stop. Everything stop. You ordered a Grab. Grab also cannot come. You ordered Panda food. Food Panda. Shopee. also cannot come, you know. You still look at the status, alamak, it's stuck at the warehouse still, you know, because everything stops when it rains. But the resolution is there, but that's okay because the rain always stops. Because the rain needs to stop for new life to start. Now that's the message, isn't it? Yes, rain are quite what do you call sad, but rain always stops. Don't worry. Don't worry so much because rain always stops and new life will begin after the rain. Maybe you took a shot of wet leaves or something, you know, wet flowers, show that the rain has stopped and look how beautiful at the flowers, something like that. Yeah. So this kind of video I also accept. Don't worry. I know some of you like me, we don't want to act in front of camera. So this kind of video I also accept. All right. But make sure you took all the shots yourself using your smartphone. Okay. And I don't mind you use any smartphone, even an old smartphone like mine. Mine is Oppo smartphone, 2019 smartphone. Eh? I think it's the Oppo Reno F5F. 5F, I think. I don't know. I can't remember what type it was. But it took a decent video and photo. So yeah, you might as well use it. Okay. So don't worry if you don't have the latest phone, iPhone 16 Pro, whatever. Uh, as long as you have a smartphone, I want to see stories, and I want to see the video, the shots of the video using some kind of composition techniques, which you have learned already anyway. And I will add a bit on next week. Okay, but for this one, I'm just focusing on the structure. Okay, the storyboard. The storyboard needs to have structure. All right, so now I'm sharing with you some of the storyboards that has been done by your seniors, by previous students last 2 semesters. Actually, you don't have to label it as setup, conflict, and resolution. You just have to label it as a storyboard. You know, you don't have to label it up. As long as there's a description, that's fine. And also, you don't have to limit yourself to just 3 squares, 3 rectangles. You can have more. You can have more. As long as I can tell the structure and there's a story in it, that's fine. Look, this is quite simple and I think quite meaningful. Okay, someone planned to eat a biscuit, and then we did check, look at this at the packet. Alamak, only have one, but it's okay. It's best to share with my sister. You know. Oh, okay. Maybe they are at their home during the semester break and went to the kitchen to find a biscuit. Look at the packet and see there's only one. Allah, there's only one. How lah? Yeah, I might share this with my sister lah. So so instead of becoming a pleasure just for one person, by sharing, you are sharing the pleasure with two and increasing your bond with your sister. So that's the story. Simple story and sweet story. I like it. And that's why I share it with you. Very simple and sweet story. I think I give an A for this video. I cannot remember. All right. So now I share with you a storyboard drawn on a paper with a pen. That's it. I also accept. Okay. Just because you don't have an expensive tablet, you don't know how to use Canva, don't worry. You know, you scribble something on paper, take a photo and give it to me. No issue. As long as the story is there and arranged in three-part structure or some other storytelling structure, I'm fine. Okay. And for this one, if you look closely, it's about the story of that student. Yeah, he went out to have lunch. I think they went to Fasaseni and they went for mee tarik at the cafe. And then they go around the location because Pasar Seni have got lots of attraction, tourist attraction. So they are playing tourists there, although they are UM students, but they are, going around taking photos, blah blah blah. So that's the setup. The conflict is that they only realize that they have to go back at 2:50. Look at the time, 2:50 p.m. because their class starts at 3. You see, the class starts at 3, but they only realize that they have to go back by 2:15. So some of them ordered Grab, but Grab only can take 4 person. Okay, so sorry, can take 3 person, not 4. Uh, 4 depending on on the car. Yeah. So two of them was left behind. So two of them actually took the public transportation and they arrived late in class. Okay. The resolution is that yes, two of them arrived late, but they are still happy because they got to spend time together on that day. Yeah, and playing tourists and eat together, and their bond as a friend becomes stronger. Yeah, so that's the story. All right. So arrange your idea into threes or more, but as long as there's a storytelling structure, I'm fine. Okay. Even this simple story, this is not even a 1 day story. This is like a one shot story. Yeah. The setup is that this guy is playing a basketball. Yeah. The conflict is that he's trying to shoot it and it won't go in. It won't go in. It won't go in. But the resolution is that if you keep on training and practicing, then one day, one time, you will get the ball into the hoop. All right. Yes, this squares doesn't have description, and that's why this student will not get a full mark. Yeah. But for the story and the drawing, he gets a full mark. Okay, but not the description because storyboard needs a short description at the bottom. All right. Right, for this one, this is another story about finding friends. But this one is written in Malay. So not just Malay, but a mix of English and Malay. Yeah. Again, you can draw on the paper and explain your story in 3 parts. Then I will accept it. Okay. Basically, this is a story about a student who wakes up and find out that another boring day is ahead. He looks out in the window and see that everyone has a friend playing with someone, and he got no one to 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 accompany him. Yeah, makan sorang-sorang. He eats alone. Yeah, he tries to be friends with others, while others don't want to be friends with him. He tries calling other friends, existing friends, but they are all busy. So again, eating alone. And sad. And while walking, I don't know where, uh, his phone falls down and someone fixed it up and said, "Are you okay? Awak okay ke? Are you okay?" So actually it was an old friend. So flashback, ta 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 ta, and suddenly sedar yang quality over quantity. Meaning that actually the hero realized that you don't have to have lots of friends. You just have to have one good friend. Cantik. So that's the message. All right. You see, no friend, upset. Try to find friends at the setup, and the resolution is that realize that you see, no need to have lots of friends. Just one good friend will do. Okay, that's the story. A nice, sweet story. Again, another student draw his storyboard, a simple one. Both of them watching NBA basketball game. They don't agree on the team. One team calls out another team because they are losing team. So they say, okay lah, jom lah lawan kat court lah kalau berani kan. So they all challenge each other on a real basketball court. Short story. The message is that as friends, you don't take heart to everything they say. In the end, you keep your friendship and you keep it by doing what both of you love, which is playing basketball. All right. Simple story, a quick one that is still a story. Okay, because I'm looking for stories. And this one is a bit unique. I included it because I think it's very nice. The student thinks that our hands can tell stories too. Eh? I think she creates it on a tablet, on iPad, I think. Just a scribble like this will do. A normal stressful day of a student, just showing their hands. and then they go out for lunch as usual, eating with their hands, maybe chopsticks, maybe fork and spoon. And also by using their hands, they decided to have ice cream as a reward. And then suddenly the conflict is that ice cream fell. Oh no, but it's okay. A friend can help cheer you up and buy another one. This is the hand of a friend. Okay? So that's the story. This one has four rectangles. Doesn't matter. But it was arranged in the three-part structure, which is again a story. Okay? So you can arrange it that. All right, so that's all the examples I want to share with you. So go ahead and complete the tasks that I mentioned on your spectrum, which is the for this week task on week 6. I just uploaded it just now this morning. Okay, create a simple 3 scene minimum storyboard for the story, and I want you to upload the storyboard below. Okay, upload meaning that it's in the format of image. Okay, not PDF, because PDF I cannot read, I cannot see the photo. Okay, so upload the storyboard. Maybe I should spell it out. Upload or type the storyboard below. For those who doesn't want to draw, you can type it also, which is still fine. Okay. So because I'm more focused on the story itself. Okay. I want to hear your story. How you not so much on whether the story is interesting or not. Because you see, whether or not story is interesting or not, it depends on the audience. Okay. What I'm coaching you about is to tell something in a storytelling manner, in a structured way. That's my role, my job here. So you can have any stories, you can tell any stories, as long as it's structured well, I accept it. Okay. For this week's task, it's more about your idea and arrange that in a storytelling manner using a storyboard. Okay. Look forward to that. I might as well put up the example just now here so that you can look it up as a reference. I will post it here later. All right. Other than that, I think that's all from me this week. I will continue next week on the shooting of the video. All right. Some camera movement, some basic camera movement for you to try. Okay.
Sir, I have
So
a question.
yes,
I have a
question.
question.
Yeah, yeah.
How, when you say type the storyboard, you means like in a document?
Mm-hmm.
So you type in a Word document and then send it on up in the upload spectrum.
No, you type it down there.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's typed down there. All right.
Yeah, you can type it down there.
Okay.
Make it easy for me just to look at it and I know the story. If you upload this PDF and Word document, I have to download it and then I have to open it, I have to read it. Make my work easier lah, okay, for everyone. Take photo and then upload your photo. All right. So feel free to comment on other students' work as well because I want this class to be interactive. I want everyone to help others as well. I know that some of you uh, are doing English literature, for example. Some of you have hobbies and passionate about writing stories. So share your passion with others. Just like what I'm doing. I share my passion with you. So yeah. So do that, upload it in the form of a image. So that it's easier for me and for everyone else to look at your work, your story. All right, so that's all from me. Yeah, I didn't share that one. Why am I talking to you like I'm sharing? Okay, anyway, sorry. I was looking at something else actually. All right, so that's all from me this week on storyboards. Again, as a summary, storyboard are just a representation of your final video so that everyone understood what the story is about, especially your team members that will help you to shoot the video and edit your video. Okay, and that's what storyboard is about. So go ahead, find your story, create a storyboard out of it, and submit it as this week's task. Okay. thank you so much. That's all from me. Uh, I hope somebody put up their hand. I cannot see your name. You can just shout. You can just open your mic if you want to ask. All right. If not, then that's all from me. I hope to see you next week, same time. Yeah. The week after that is the mid semester break, isn't it? So there will be no class, but there's still class next week. Okay. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you so much. I know send a love. I cannot send a love, so I send you this love. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
see you next week. Bye bye.
Thank
I'll
you,
stop
Doctor.
the recording.